heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
Ben, me and Kevin are from the corporate office, and we want to take your podcast national, go through syndication, but you got to clean it up.
I do my show. It's always been take it or leave it. You take it, you leave it. I don't water down my show for anybody. Fuck you.
But there's so much sex robot talk. Our fans are revolting. What are we going to do about this?
Then they revolt. What do we say? This country, Minnesota sports is in deep trouble, people. Minnesota sports is rotten to the core. Somebody better do something about it. So Minnesota, I want you to get your hand out of the bowl, lutefisk. I want you to just throw your copy of Fantasy Football Monthly, pick up the phone, give me a call, stick it up to your ear. We're talking talk radio, Pot of Dreams.
This country is in deep trouble, people. This country is rotten to the core, and somebody better do something about it. I want you to take your hand out of that bowl of Fritos, throw away your National Enquirer, and pick up the phone. Go ahead, pick it up, hold it up to your face, and dial 555-TALK. Open your mouth and tell me what we're going to do about the mess this country's in. Talk radio. It's the last neighborhood in town. People just don't talk to each other anymore. Let's go to the first caller. Night Talk, Agnes. Yeah.
I Love Lucy. Now, why don't they make more of them?
Those shows are ancient, Agnes. Lucille Ball must be at least 105 years old. The rest of the cast is dead.
Barry, Metrowave's going to be picking up the show starting Monday night. Link it to a national feed.
We have a very special guest with us. Kent is the classic American youth, energetic and resourceful, spoiled, perverse, and disturbed. Would you say that's an accurate description, Kent?
Barry, you should ask me if you want to have a guest on the show.
Why?
Because I'm the boss, Barry, that's why.
All you have to do is just be nice, okay?
Easy, Barry. You're part of the problem, you see.
I don't care what you think. No one does.
He's going down in flames, Dan.
So what?
You get the package and sent down to the station. See, if I were you, I'd have my pretty assistant give the police a call. Take the bomb squad about 10 minutes to get down
Bomb
there.
squad? Why should I call the bomb squad? Tell me something. I'm curious. How do you dial a phone with a straitjacket on?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pot of Dreams. If you listen to Real Pod, I'm your host, Ben, with Blorpo and the Nudge. And we're here to talk radio. Why don't you guys fart into the microphone so everybody knows you're alive?
Well, which one's Blorpo? Am I Blorpo?
That's something Blurpo would say. What a Blurpo response that was. You didn't even know where your asshole's at, man. All right, so I'm done with the shtick. Talk radio. The movie Talk Radio is what we're talking today. A movie I saw quite a while ago. Been thinking about, wanted to rewatch. I think it's probably Oliver Stone's most underappreciated movie. Eric, you weren't even aware this existed a week ago.
Correct.
Yeah?
And I wish I still didn't know it existed.
Wow. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. Okay. And Kevin, you were vaguely aware of it based on just somebody mentioning it somewhere that you'd heard.
Yeah, like out of Oliver Stone's oeuvre.
Sure.
This was kind of a lost little nugget.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a hit. It wasn't super expensive either. It's like $4 million and didn't even make that back. So people didn't really watch it at the time, and people don't really talk about it later. So Eric, I guess we'll start with your hatred of this movie. Why did you really dislike this movie?
I mean, it's an obnoxious character who's being obnoxious the entire time. And I know that's the point. He's supposed to be a shock jock. He's like a Howard Stern type person. I just found nothing ridiculous. It's supposed to be this profound monologue about American life and anti-Semitism or whatever the fuck he's talking about. I didn't find any of it profound at all.
Yeah, he's very unlikable, and he treats people like shit.
Yeah, he's an awful character.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what we learn about him is he used to be a like sell suits, and then weaseled his way into the radio show, and then pushed the one guy out that gave him a chance, and then fucked over his wife, who was the one person that loved him, and then comes back to him again, and he fucks her over again. And he's just a dick to all of his listeners. He's an asshole to all the people he works with. Just a real shitty guy.
That's true. Everything you said about his character is totally true. Why do you think, despite all that, his character is popular and people listen to him? Like, why do shock jocks exist?
Well,
why
it's just
people
like,
really
why do we
Howard
watch
Stern?
cars crash? It's the same idea. Like, you listen to something you hate.
Okay. What does that say about us as a species? Well, I know, but that's... the movie doesn't pretend that he's a great guy, and they don't think he's doing anything.
It's
great.
also such a dated thing. Like that, if you show somebody, a young person, this thing, like they'd be like, "What is that?" You're saying Joe Rogan, right? That's the comparison, right?
It's not even that. It's that this is proto Twitter. What he's doing is proto Twitter, right? The algorithm is manually done by the guy from Scrubs. I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who is like there.
John McGinley?
Yes, filtering the calls. He's filtering the craziest, nuttiest, looniest people to create the most intense conversations that go nowhere constructive. That's the whole point. That's what people are listening to. He doesn't listen to the stiffs. They get excluded out. This is what Twitter does.
Yeah,
Twitter
doesn't exist anymore. Like a talk radio program where people call in.
No, it exists on Twitter. It exists on Twitter and social media.
I think the internet's different than this. This is a totally different thing than the internet.
I disagree. This is that space that existed. You're right. It doesn't exist like this anymore. It's all either podcasts or social media, the internet. It doesn't exist in this format anymore. But this is absolutely protozoan Twitter is what this is. It's exactly what it is.
No, because Twitter, like the people that call in, I see what you're saying. It's the same impulse that you would tweet at somebody you hate and like, you fucking idiot, you're a piece of shit. Like you see that, but like that's not what Twitter is popular because of people that are popular that say things and do things, like not because of the response. I don't.
That's exactly. People go on Twitter.
That's why Twitter, because they can respond. People go on Twitter
to argue, to berate, to belittle, to dunk, to trash. Yeah, people go on Twitter to have intellectual conversations, to have reasoned debate, to learn anything meaningful. Really, it is a quote. I'm putting this in quotes. This is massive quotes. It's a free speech zone. Again, the free speech here is you put massive quotes on the free speech in this movie as well. Look at almost anything, like if you just go into your For You, and not even the people you follow, if you go into your For You, it's almost guaranteed to be stuff that's going to piss you off, and it's going to be wall-to-wall people arguing and screaming and name-calling each other and having just bad faith interactions. That's why people get on Twitter. No, I don't think people get on Twitter.
I think social media is different than what this movie is about, but
it's worse.
Agree to disagree.
Everybody's on can be on Twitter. There's not, you're not filtering it through one guy anymore. Joe
Rogan's, I think, more of a comparison. It's like, how many people listen to Joe Rogan that hate what he says?
They get farmed for clips and played on social media, right? There's whole ecosystem designed to take whatever you can from Joe Rogan, from whomever, and that's not just Joe Rogan, any podcast, and say, oh, here's Joe Rogan. He's finally hating the libs. Oh, Joe Rogan's calling out the conservatives. Here's Joe Rogan being a lunatic. And then that gets farmed and fed to whoever will most react to that shit. That's exactly what it's doing. Social media is different. It's worse. This is like a late night call-on show in Dallas. And this is based on a true story, right? Like there was a guy that was shot in Denver, an atheist
Alan
Jew.
Burke.
Yeah, who got killed by a lunatic, and some other characters. So, I mean, there's that's component to this, but this is absolutely the same impulse. The people that are calling in are the same kind of people who want to just spew insanity onto Twitter. They're the same demographic. It's just now they can go onto Twitter and do it instead of just a relatively local media call-in show in Dallas. The guy's an asshole, and I know you with a few exceptions, if the main character's shitty, you make exceptions. Sometimes the character can be shitty and you'll like it, but otherwise for you, Eric, if the main guy sucks, you're out. Fine. The guy is clearly shitty, and he's supposed to be. And the movie doesn't.
You think so, Kevin? You think this is a good movie?
I think it was well done and well acted. I personally did not like the movie, however, for many of the reasons that you didn't like it, Eric.
Yeah, the acting's really good in this, and I think the filmmaking's really good. I mean, there are so many really cool and inventive shots in this. I mean, this could have felt like a teleplay, and it isn't. There's so many dynamic uses of reflection and zooms. It's really cleverly made.
What's the De Palma thing with the split something where the camera's out of focus and both things are in focus, but one's in the background? Split diopter,
something like that. It sounds right.
Yeah, there's a couple of those in this movie.
Even early on, cool. We see our main guy in there talking, doing his show, and then there's Alec Baldwin, who's like his, I don't know, manager. I don't know what his title is, and then the guy who's going to pick up the show for syndication. And the reflections are like they're outside looking in, but you can see their reflections next to Barry. And they're like these ghosts, these specters just looming over the whole affair. The desire to make money off of this. There's tons of great shots in this. So I'm going to disagree vehemently that it's extremely well made and shot. And the acting's great. Yeah, if you're just like, this guy sucks and I don't want to spend 2 hours with him, that makes me grumpy. I disagree, but that's fine. It's a small plot. The stakes are...
Does it all happen in one night, basically, right?
Spread out from like a Friday to a Monday, I think. He does the first show we see Friday. He leaves the show.
He has a whole basketball game or whatever.
Yeah, he goes to the basketball game. He wakes up on the Sunday, gets his wife or ex-wife, and then the next day is the Monday. So it's 2 shows. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not spread out over a long time. It does have a plot. It's a small plot. It's not major. The stakes are, is he going to get syndication? Is he going to get back with his ex-wife? But it's a character piece, really, and it's really about this concept. I mean, even when we get the Axl Rose kid who comes in, I don't know if you caught it. He has a line where he says, "Someday, man, we're going to have 2 screens that can talk to each other, and nobody's going to stop the revolution then, man." It's like exactly what we have with social media and our phones. And do we have some revolution? Are we more connected? No. It is just the same kind of content that just gets spewed out on social media. I mean, this movie kept making me think of Network. It's not as good as Network, so I'm not saying that. But like, if you had a Network cinematic universe, right, where we're bringing in entertainment and news and colliding them together, one of the byproducts is going to be a show like this, which is just designed to show loony people and arguing and being contentious and being a dick. I don't know. I kept thinking of the main guy. I mean, he's just like a lot of people that like, what's it called? Rage bait on Twitter, shit post on Twitter. That's what this guy's doing just to random loons in the Dallas area. And some of it's fake and concocted, like the guy calling in who's pretended like his like girlfriend was ODing. And just like lunatics. I mean, I don't know if you've been on Twitter lately. Do you know how many like overt anti-Semites you can see?
I don't go on X anymore.
See,
it's called
okay.
X now.
Yeah. Especially in the Elon Musk era, the like batshit, like the neo-Nazi guy that was on the phone in this movie, there's loads of people who would absolutely agree with that guy calling in on Twitter. And those things are just pummeled in. I don't know. This is like just a byproduct of now if news, quote unquote, and radio shows are quote unquote entertainment, this is the shit you get, where he's ostensibly talking politics, but not really. He's just there to like be angry. And it's a show. He constantly gets mad when people say it's just a show because he wants to believe it's important, but it's really not. It's just garbage, just bilge. Like that's when he gets most mad at the Axl Rose guy, is when he says, "Just a show, man." Like, I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot going on. I get it. He sucks. He does suck. He makes infuriating choices. He's an asshole. And when his ex-wife gives him this really sweet moment, a vulnerable moment where she's like, "Okay, I do want to go back to you," he shits all over it. It's infuriating. He just takes a massive dump. And then he's still going to try to reconcile afterwards. It's crazy. I don't know. I love this movie. Not because I think the character's good, because I think it's got, I know that this isn't what we want for movies, Eric, but like there's a lot of really interesting things going on in this movie. And You just got my brain racing. Yes, I know. I think this is proto Twitter. I think this is absolutely, yes. If you were 19, you're like, this used to happen. Yeah, it did. But I mean, you got Rush Limbaugh, right? I mean, Rush Limbaugh was a radio guy before anything else. Rush Limbaugh became super popular, and that's a offshoot of what this guy did. It created this whole new media ecosystem because media is entertainment and it's news adjacent. Anyway, all right. I mean, Eric, was there anything you liked about the movie, or you were just turned off because the guy sucked and you hated him and you were just out?
No, I really didn't care for this movie at all. And the other thing I kept running into is Howard Stern, right? Like Howard Stern is early 80s, right? Mid 80s when he starts becoming big. Looks exactly like this guy. Sure. Same fucking haircut. He's also Jewish, and he just is the same sort of thing. He's a heel on radio shows. People hate him. He's getting banned. Like, he's got a bunch of people that call in and hate him, but he's got a huge audience. So that was the other thing, is like, this isn't even novel. Like, there's somebody's already done this in real life, and his name's Howard Stern.
Well, this is based off of a real life guy who was popular before Howard Stern. So yes, this movie isn't trying to, like, this movie came out probably as Howard Stern was getting super popular. It can be a commentary on Stern if you want. I don't think this movie is trying to, like, celebrate this behavior at all. I don't view this as like, isn't this great? Isn't this awesome? Isn't Howard Stern great? Do you think that's an undercurrent in this movie? That it's celebrating this guy?
No. No, I don't think they're trying to say that this is, I think he's even struggling with his own worth, you know, and I think that's the point, is like, is this worth anything? Like, he keeps asking everybody, like, why do you like my show? And nobody could give him a fucking answer because he realizes no one really likes it at all because he's not doing anything worthwhile. But to me, I don't need a movie about that. I don't find a movie about that interesting in any way whatsoever. So
okay,
let's maybe shift to Kevin. Kevin, maybe you have not as harsh thoughts on it.
Well, I had a tough time reconciling because this was the weekend of terrible shooting, of multiple shootings here in Minnesota. And so that was pretty rough to reconcile with. Someone getting gunned down in cold blood. Thinking about that happening in real life. So that kind of triggered me, and that I felt was to the detriment of the movie itself.
Okay.
That's fair.
Sure. I don't know. This movie just really made me think. I mean, the whole thing is, if nobody liked it and ignored him, it wouldn't exist, right? There's a free market for this. There is a way for people to listen to the point where there's money to be made for this kind of stuff. And why is that? That movie doesn't have an answer for that because there isn't one.
But it's not investigating why somebody listens to it. It's more just about him. And he's just Howard Stern can't explain why he's so popular. If you ever hear him talk, he can't articulate it. He doesn't even fucking know, because he was just farted on the radio and said things that people thought were funny and embarrassed people and did a bunch of pranks and stuff. And like, wow, like the fucking Jackass guys, you think they can explain why that they become such a big thing? Like, we're just like fucking stapling our balls together. Like, it's the same idea. Like, it's just the lowest common denominator. And
right. But he doesn't know. He can't articulate, neither can anybody. He asks almost everybody. He can't explain it. And that's the whole point. I think, yeah, it's filtered through one character who sucks. Like, okay, we think this guy sucks. Okay, great. He sucks, but why is he famous? Why is he popular? And yeah, whether we can explain why isn't really even the point. It
doesn't even bother to investigate that.
It does. I think this movie investigates that the whole time. I absolutely do think it does that. He asks almost everybody he can, and by the end, he has a breakdown because he can't reconcile. He can't understand. He's trying to figure it out, and he can't. He asks people. He asks the long-haired guy. He asks the lady. Nobody can articulate why this is so fascinating. You call it the lowest common denominator. Say, oh, this is so okay. Why the hell is it popular then? Why is it satisfying to hate listen? Why is that a thing? Why is it fun to listen to people and then, but like that I think I disagree that it doesn't explore that at all. It doesn't resolve it. It can't. It's a fundamentally irresolvable thing
I
about
don't
human
have
nature.
that instinct. I don't. Do you, Kevin? Do you ever listen to things other than the Pot of Dreams where you're like, why are those three idiots? What are they talking about?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of talk radio, sports radio. I find a lot of it infuriating. A lot of straw men being built up and crushed.
Yep.
But I haven't ever listened to talk radio like this before, where it's just a lot of stream of consciousness just coming at you, and a lot of callers just being cycled through.
Did you guys ever listen to? It was Adam Carolla and then the doctor guy was the people call in and talk about
Loveline?
Loveline. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing I can in my lifetime remember, like a call in late night radio show.
I mean, it's not because I like doing it. You don't. I mean, if you're just like, I don't care about it, so therefore it's not interesting to me. That's fine. It's a phenomenon that exists outside of you and me and Kevin. Like, it's clearly a thing that exists in reality. It's something about why do humans like car crashes? You want to take it that direction. Why would this format ever be popular? Why would this appeal to people? You say lowest common area, you think it's low art or whatever the hell you think it is, crass and
because
pathetic.
People didn't have in the 80s, they didn't have options, right? There was like the radio dial. I mean, before that, there was just like 4 channels on TV. You know what I mean? Like our grandparents grew up with just listening to the fucking radio, and you just got what came in.
If you were a person in the 80s, you had enough radio options. You didn't have to listen to a guy that you thought sucked. You didn't have to. It's like you bought that lady who's like, I'm waiting for a program to come on. She couldn't listen to anything else. She's stuck. You think she just had no choice.
You just left the dial on, whatever it was, and you just fucking left it on. That was the only entertainment. It if it's
so awful.
They didn't have the internet. They had nothing in the 80s.
Okay. They had at least
they would
5
listen to this guy
stations.
rant and just like, turn this off. It's like, that's all that's on. Just call and yell at him.
That is such a lame ass excuse. Literally the only station on is this one station. Radio was much bigger. There would have been a lot of options in 1984 and 1988. You wouldn't have just 2 options, 3
you'd
options.
Have like 10. You'd have a couple music, a couple, maybe one sports.
Anything. If it's so awful, if it's literally the worst thing on radio, any station by definition will be better. Any other channel will be better.
Okay.
Just that's
riddle me this then. Riddle me this, Ben. How come that doesn't exist now? Why is there no call-in late night radio show?
Because it exists on social media.
No,
because everybody
that's
can do
a
that.
cop-out.
That's not a cop. It's exactly what it is. If I want to scream about the libs or conservatives,
this movie's about a
or
dead art
centrists
form,
or Palestine or anything, I can do that on the internet, right? You can be mad about whatever you want. You can find people to agree. You can find people to hate, all on the internet. It's gone. That's why, and that's why this format is quote unquote dead. Because there's no public access call-in shows used to be a thing. Yeah, they're gone because it's all on the internet. The internet went away.
Why is Ben Shapiro a thing? It's because people like listening to what he says. People like Joe Rogan. People like, Bill Simmons. Like those podcast
people like
personalities.
Howard Stern. People like a bunch of podcasters. People like being pissed at shit. People like getting self-righteous. People like watching sports and hating
There's
people.
nobody who's just there because everybody hates him. That doesn't exist anymore. Name one of those personalities where like their main purpose is because people just fucking
I disagree that everybody hates this guy. That's maybe where we're at a disagreement. Like maybe a lot of people do. There are some people who genuinely like him.
When they introduced him at the basketball game, they booed and threw shit at him. Like, this guy was hated.
By a lot of people, but not everybody. I think you're missing my point, that it's not literally 100% of the people that listen to him hate him. There are absolutely people who said, even in the movie, that they loved him. That girl that becomes the producer that he has the relationship with, I used to listen to you in high school. Okay, she didn't hate him. Obviously, yes, a lot of people hate him. Okay. Some people came up to him at the SMU rally and said, I love you, and asked for his autograph. And I think the way that it's parsed out is absolutely on the internet now. How many people are on the radio that are loved anymore? How many beloved radio personalities are there in 2025? Almost none. They're almost certainly doing podcasts or on the internet somewhere, right? Who cares about live radio in 2025?
Dan Barrero, is he loved in the Twin Cities metro area? I don't know.
What's the meatball,
Paul Allen?
meatwad, meat face?
sauce?
What's
Meat sauce.
Is he beloved?
Yeah.
There are still some call-in shows, by the way. I've heard people bitching and moaning about Vikings games on the radio. Well, coach made a
Sports is
stupid
the only
fucking
venue.
decision that was really egregiously dumb. Fuck him. Ugh. Like, yes.
Should
that
we
still
do
happens.
a call-in podcast show where people just call in during our?
I would love that.
Tell us how much
Podcast?
they hate us.
How would that work? You just have to have an open phone number and it's just posted like, "Hey, we're recording from
555 talk.
Yeah, call in and yell at us.
Sure.
We should try it.
But yeah, where do people go to yell at people? I mean, yeah, it's on the internet. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, people get that impulse. They still have it. When you want to go hate somebody, you go to the internet. You hate anything. There'll be a subreddit devoted to hating the thing you hate. You can find a bunch of like-minded people that will bitch about the thing that you think sucks. It's all right there. It's just super niche, and it goes off in all these different directions in the new media ecosystem.
We just have completely different views on like what makes a good movie, and I'll grant you this. It's an interesting discussion. These are interesting ideas. I still don't think this is a good movie at all.
You're not. I get it. You if you don't have a good enjoyment of a movie, you're out, right? Like, you gotta enjoy it on the basic level.
No, that's not true. There are movies that I don't like enjoy, but I still think they're good movies. I don't think this is even a good movie.
I don't
think this is like a worthwhile endeavor at all.
This movie is super well made. I mean, the filmmaking is genuinely excellent. You're allowed to believe otherwise, but if you look at this filming and think this is like a shoddily made movie, whether you think it's a worthwhile artistic pursuit or whatever, fine. It's clearly well made. It clearly is
Oliver
well
Stone knows
shot.
how to make a movie. I'm not saying that. If you ever said, should I make a movie about this? I would say no.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't make a movie about this. This is clearly made by somebody who was super interested in this. And this is a movie Oliver Stone made just because he wanted to make it. This isn't a commercial idea. It wasn't a commercial idea, and he could have done anything, and he did this.
Eric Bogosian, who's the lead of this movie, actually wrote like a play, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
yes, he wrote a play.
Yeah,
that was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. Yep. And Oliver Stone really liked it and wanted to make a movie. You didn't think it was worthwhile to have a great director make a movie off of a Pulitzer Prize winning play. Fair enough. That's your take. I don't know. It's extremely well made. It's extremely well acted. It's just the guy sucks, and you think this media form was terrible, and you're glad it doesn't exist anymore, and you don't think it exists in any current form, that it came and went, and thank God it's extinct. Fair enough. I don't think it's extinct. I think it just went elsewhere. I think it evolved and transformed into the very different media landscape we have today.
Prairie Home Companion movie, right? It's like, do I need that about a thing that nobody cares about anymore? I don't know.
Especially since the guy was a pervert that it's based off of.
Sure, that's true. There's also that. I'm just saying, like, I don't need that. I don't need to see it. Maybe it's good. Maybe the radio show for Prairie Home Companion was good. It's a Minnesota
the movie
staple, I
is
guess.
perfectly good. It's a perfectly good movie. It's fine. It's a musical, but it's in context. It's people actually performing. So I think you'd hate it less than most other musicals. Do you want to hear Woody Harrelson sing about bad jokes and how much he loves them? Check it out sometime. But yeah, I don't. You'd like it more because the characters are less obnoxious on the whole.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just the filmmaking is really good. I'm gonna just. Any suggestion this isn't just a super well-made movie, I'm just going to disagree vehemently, like whatever. I'm trying to think of a movie where you just flat out didn't like the concept or didn't like the character, but also liked the movie overall. I just don't. I mean, that maybe it's probably happened a couple times. I just can't think when that was for you, Eric.
Didn't like to me, that sounds like a terrible movie. I don't like the concept. I don't like the characters.
So it's dead.
I'm not going to like the movie.
Exactly. That's what I said. And then you just be like, well, sometimes Like, even if I don't
no.
like
You said
it.
enjoy it.
Okay.
Like.
What's a movie you didn't enjoy?
Insan. I didn't enjoy that at all, but I think it's a good movie.
Would you choose to make a fictional movie about a woman who gets raped by her son?
No.
Oh, okay,
but
you thought that was good, even though you disagreed with the premise and wouldn't fund it.
Okay, I didn't actually really like that movie. I'm just saying that's
right.
I appreciated the filmmaking and the plot mechanics, I guess, but didn't enjoy the movie.
Okay.
I don't know, like Black Swan. Let me as an example. Like, I don't care so much about ballet or ballet dancing, and I mean it has some horror elements that I like, but I don't really like that. I think it's a good movie that I don't really like.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
So it exists.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't pay for a horror movie about a ballet dancer going crazy.
Yeah, I would say let's not greenlight that.
That's got it. Understood. Fair enough. Well, I mean, look, I'm clearly on an island here, and that's fine. I thought this movie was incredible. I don't know where else to take the discussion because I thought this was like superb. I think there's something really fucked about the human consciousness and the human brain. That there's a market for this, right? This exists because there's a market for it. I think the market for this still exists. It's different. You disagree. And there's just something really messed up about the human condition. And this movie elucidates that, right? Like, I don't know. It fascinated me, and I said, this is like a byproduct. If you're going to make news, not a public good, but a commodity, you're going to create a market for this kind of stuff. And it did exist, and I think still does exist. And why are we, I don't know, so pathetic as a species that this bilge was ever compelling if you don't think it still is, or is compelling if you think it still does. And I think that's the central thesis of this. The movie doesn't make any attempt to make us like him or think he's doing anything. It even gets rid of his illusions. He kind of views himself as some free speech warrior guy. It's not even that. He's not even a free speech warrior, right? He picks the craziest conversation to have, hangs up on people when he wants to, criticizes people when they hang up on him. This is like, oh, you blocked me, you pussy. This is just, it's the call-in show version of that. And he just, anyway, I think this movie is incredible, but yeah, it's not about a likable guy. I guess it's not fun in this, but he gets shot in the end. Did that make you happy at least? That the piece of shit is dead?
I mean, that also, like, I think to Kevin's point, left a sour taste in my mouth for the movie. It was like, so would you just get? I know it's true. It was based on a true story. Radio guy did get killed, so I get why that's sort of imitating life there. But it's like, all right, so he's murdered too in the end. Like, we get that also on top of it. There's no redemption. He just sucks. He fucks everybody over. Then he just gets killed. Like,
yeah, and then he becomes part of talk radio. People are on a call-in show talking about him in the end. That's how brutal and cynical the format and the style and the human species is. Everybody else is just chatting about it. Oh, he was like a cast to me, and I kind of miss my cast, and everybody just chats about it. That's part of the cynicism of the movie. I think it's very cynical about the human condition, which I get isn't fun really. But I was like, I think it's elucidating an uncomfortable truth about the human condition at an absolute minimum. So I don't know,
was this movie entertaining to you?
I wasn't bored for a second. I mean, the filmmaking was immaculate from the get-go. The spinning around in the booth and the way they'd zoom in on his mouth and pause and the sound editing and the way everything worked together. No, I wasn't bored. I wasn't, and this is my second time having seen it, so I didn't have any illusions about this guy being a good guy. I was able to just actually kind of let the plot go to the side and actually really just see where the movie was actually going. And yeah, I wasn't bored. I was engaged the whole time. I wasn't even a tiny bit bored. I was fascinated and compelled the whole way through. In the same way with Network. Network isn't a happy movie. Network's a deeply cynical movie. but I want bored watching Network. It's just immaculate. It's a better movie too. I'm not comparing them in terms of quality, but no, I wasn't bored. I wasn't like, oh, this isn't like one of those tedious Godard movies you kind of have to sit through. Like it's French people being very French in Paris. Like I have to pretend to like this. This isn't me. No, I was genuinely super interested the whole time. So I loved it. But 4.5 stars for me. I'm waiting for the half star from Eric and the 2-star from you, Kevin.
Yeah, it's 2.5 stars. I'm probably right in the middle. I thought it was well made. I thought it was well acted. I liked the sound editing. Everything was done very well. And there was a point. I mean, I think he was trying to make a point about the media and how we interact with media. But the guy was so unlikable. It just wasn't fun for me to sit through. So I'm have to split the difference and give it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, even Howard Stern has some charm. There's some charm to that guy, and he's actually a really good interviewer, But you half star. I mean, that's about where I'm at. I really didn't. I mean, I don't mean. I know you like this movie. I don't mean to insult you. And
no, I think it's a shock that you don't think the movie's well enough made to be better than a half star, like just on filmmaking alone. But that's fair enough. You just are so disengaged with the premise and the main character that it doesn't matter.
It's almost entirely in one location. It's shot in this studio booth, pretty much the entire movie. I mean, outside of maybe 2-3 scenes, one weird flashback.
Flashbacks.
I didn't care for it. A weird bad wig, and I don't know. And then we learned more about how shitty of a guy this dude was. Why do we need that? Why do we need more flashback to if you didn't think this guy sucked already, where do you see him cheat on his wife and fuck over his friend and oh no, I got it. This guy was a piece of shit. Now I got it even more. He's even a bigger piece of shit than I thought of he was before. So again, I don't mean to shit on a movie you liked. I just
no, it's not. You're projecting it like a personal offense, and to me, I look at this and think, okay, you say it's a shot at one location, which I guess is meant to be like it's
you
boring.
Look at it and you say Eric's just not smart enough to understand this movie.
Well, it's clearly it's shot in one location for the most part. It could be really stilted and stiff, and the filmmaking is so dynamic that it's kinetic and it's not boring and tedious the way that it's shot. So it's they somehow made it visually compelling. I was thinking in my head, I imagined it being just him in front of the microphone the whole time.
I'll grant you that.
And it's really not. And it's not. It's really exciting the way that they shoot and film and make it dynamic. His flashback goes to show that this guy's kind of always been shitty. That's how the Alan Berg guy got hired, by the way. He sold suits. A radio guy came in and said, hey, I like you. Let's get you a show back in the 70s. So that part was also based on a real life thing.
And then he wouldn't shut up and totally stole the guy's spotlight.
His only redeemable skill is that he's an asshole, right? I mean, why is this guy whose only real marketable skill is just that he's a raging, obnoxious piece of shit able to be commercially successful? I think that's the point. I understand you're I don't want to be around this guy who's a piece of shit. I wouldn't watch this in my real life. I wouldn't want to interact with this kind of show in real life. You're not on Twitter. Good for you. Or X, if you want to call it X.
How much cocaine do you think was involved in this movie? I would imagine.
Was this Oliver Stone's peak cocaine? Late 80s?
It has to have been, yeah. It's got to be there's cocaine everywhere when they're making this movie.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Just the breathless dialogue and the character. I mean, I recognize the character straight away that Eric Bogosian wrote and performed was oh yeah, I know that shitty archetype. It's not really so common anymore, but you just fast talking diarrhea mouth asshole. Oh, I know.
That's why he makes a good bad guy. Under Siege 2, great bad guy. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
And we got the villain from The Crow, I think, is in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he plays the kid, Kent.
Yeah, he was in Robin Hood also.
You didn't even like seeing a guy dressed like Axl Rose? That didn't do anything for you? You weren't like, hey, let's go to Paradise City,
He actually reminded
buddy.
me, on Saturday I spent time with my family. I have a cousin who's like exactly like that. Like literally exactly like that dude. So made me kind of giggle.
Okay. Well, there's something.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do you want to speak more on it, Ben? You seem like you have.
Oh, I love this movie. No, it's fine. I can. No, I think it's great. I don't know what to say. I've been excited to talk about it. I love it.
Why not 5 stars then, Ben?
I couldn't think about it. I was at 5 stars when I watched it, and then I slept on it, and I was like, I don't know if it's quite there. I can't quite put a finger on it. The difference between 4.5 and 5, I don't have a clearly delineated in my mind. It doesn't have anything I think is a glaring problem, unless it's just that the guy's an asshole, but he has to be for the movie to work. It doesn't work if he's secretly a nice guy or whatever. He's just playing a character. I love everybody. Kumbaya. That doesn't work.
Wouldn't it have been better if there was like a bomb in the radio station and he had to go find it and disarm the bomb, and like terrorists attacked the radio station to kill him? He had to fight off the terrorists. Wouldn't that have been a better movie? No. And he doesn't have shoes on, so he has to walk across broken glass for part of it.
Maybe somebody holds it hostage. Is that Airheads? Have you seen Airheads?
Yes, I have. Yeah. If it's too loud, then you're too old.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I love it. Obviously, it's not for everyone.
What a way better movie than this movie. Like 1,000%.
So,
Airheads has so many good things to say. What's up?
Can you explain why he was shot?
No, I can't. And the movie doesn't really explain it because it's in real life. It was like a neo-Nazi Jewish hater group that did it. And it could have been that. We don't know. I mean, he's got a lot of loonies that listen. And you see Alec Baldwin at one point comes in as like, I get letters like this all the time, man. He gets sent a package which is just a dead rat. Then people threaten him all the time.
The guy said it was a bomb. He said it was a bomb.
And Eric Bogosian opened it.
Eric was hoping it was a real bomb.
I thought, okay, it was either going to be cut the red wire, the green wire. And I was like, all right, I'm down for that. And then it's just a dead rat.
So we don't know the movie. It could be anybody. We don't get the. It's not. I don't think it's any. I tried to listen to the voice. Like, does it match any of the people that called in? Is it that Chet guy? I don't know. I don't think we get to know. It could be anybody. He's so detestable. Everybody hates him. There are a lot of people with motive to snuff him out. And it's just this gross, fat weirdo. I don't know. No, we don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But love it. If you like cynical movies that look at how awful humans are and our relationship to media and why we suck, this is a good movie for you. Eric, are you ready to lighten it up for next week? Throw it up?
No, yeah, I can. Kevin, anything more you want to say on it? I feel like you didn't say a whole bunch.
No, I didn't say a lot about it, but the argument in my head went about the same about why I liked or didn't like this movie as I was watching it. I mean, I could tell it was a well done movie. There's nothing wrong with how it was shot, how it was acted, and even the pacing seemed okay for just a pretty static movie, but the guy was reprehensible, and I didn't like how things went down.
Do you like Oliver Stone movies? Because he's got like
they're pretty bombastic
style. Yeah, maybe it's just in your face.
Yeah,
it is. Oh, it's very in your face.
Very in your face.
Sometimes, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't like Natural Born Killers as much as everybody does.
I don't really like that movie either.
But I love Platoon. I think Platoon is terrific. It's not a happy movie.
Platoon is too much.
JFK is a little too. It's a little too in your face and preachy and. Isn't Oliver Stone like some right wing Putin lunatic now? Right? Didn't he make a movie that's like Putin's actually a really good guy
with Putin? Yeah. I don't remember. I didn't watch it. Maybe he is. I don't know. I mean, are there any Oliver Stone movies any of you do like, or is it just you just?
I was thinking about that. It's like, do I? Born on the 4th of July is one of his. I've never seen that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, probably Platoon and JFK are my favorite of his movies, but I
Wall
don't
Street?
really.
Do you like Wall Street?
Wall Street's pretty good, but it's not. Wall Street's not as like cynical about it as like Wolf of Wall Street is.
Oh, okay.
You think Wall
Street's
Street
pretty-
is?
Is very cynical. I create nothing. I do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm super rich for no reason. I think it's extremely critical of the ultra rich. I mean, it's weird. I mean, if he is right wing, he's definitely got an anti-capitalism bend. Like, talk radio isn't. It clearly is aware of capitalism's influence on the talk radio format. And
The
why
Doors.
It exists. That
Doors is a good film.
he's got like a distrust of government is a little bit there with the JFK, right? Like,
Well, he made
he's
a
been lied
Nixon
to.
movie. He made a movie about George W. Bush. He made a movie about Snowden. He's clearly got Any Given Sunday. That's his best movie. Come on now. What are we talking about? What are we
that's
talking about?
very bombastic for sure.
Yeah.
Just the scene where a guy loses an eye, right? That's there's a sequence where
Oh, yeah.
somebody loses an eye on the football field.
It's a game. It's
Yeah.
a game of inches.
I'll fight my mailman for that inch. Yeah, okay. Yep. I remember.
Are we
Al
doing
Pacino.
battling Pacinos here?
There.
I had a cup of coffee with him an hour ago.
We'll fight. We'll fight for that inch. Yeah. Yeah, okay. His like least political movie. But that's another one that's like, I mean, it's where capitalism as it relates to football, it's one of the most like, here's how much money and stuff matters in football that seeps in.
I do appreciate that he's always trying to like say something with his
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
You know, whether or not you agree with it, he's trying.
Yep.
Not a lot of, you know, the Russos aren't trying to say shit with their movies, right? Like they're not out there
That's
trying
true.
to make a point, you know.
So are you a fan of Leo in Wolf of Wall Street? Do you think, man, I want to be like that guy?
No, no,
Just
no.
that-
I think what makes that movie so great is that Scorsese and the entire project is like, how awful is this world and these people? And so I'm going to essentially make a satire on this entire universe and how it's destroying everything and stands for nothing.
Okay, and it's interesting. You didn't think that was what talk radio was about. That's so fascinating to me. It's not as stylized and
Wolf of Wall
overwrought.
Street is a straight comedy.
Right,
He's
it's-
just making fun of these people the entire time.
Yeah, talk radio is not a comedy, for sure. It's not even a little bit funny. It doesn't have like a funny bone. in its
Oliver
body at all.
Stone, yeah, there's
He's not
nothing
funny.
about him that's ever been funny. Like I
No,
don't
he
he ever
doesn't get-
smiled. I don't think ever in his
Yeah,
entire
he doesn't
life.
get it. But I guess I viewed this movie as
He did
talk radio
like
way more
fight
critical
in Vietnam,
than you do.
so I imagine he's probably seen some real shit. So
Well, right. That's why I like Blood Platoon. Is like I bet that's probably a pretty close approximation to what it was like from Charlie Sheen's perspective in that movie. Feels like it's probably pretty accurate. But yeah, I mean, I look at talk radio and viewed it as an indictment, but it's very serious and straight. So he tries to play it as straight as possible. But yeah, it's not clearly a parody or a spoof or anything like that. And it's not the Wolf of Wall Street. Wall Street is, of course, like supremely awesome. So I'm not, but it's, I don't know. I think this one has plenty of criticisms of its main character. But anyway, let's go a happier direction. What are we doing next, Eric?
all right, the movie we are watching next is from the year 2002. Is when it was released.
Catch Me If You
And-
Can.
Nope. And it was a big hit. It made $84 million on an $8 million budget. It was a small budget movie that made a lot of money. It has a good critical response as well. It's 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not going to give the star of the movie away, but some of the cast is Naomi Harris, Christopher Eccleston, Megan Burns, and Brendan Gleeson. The movie was written by Alex Garland.
Oh,
Is it The Beach?
Nope, he did write The Beach, but it is not The Beach.
Okay.
No?
Nothing.
It's a horror movie.
Okay.
It takes place in London. No?
No. From Hell?
No?
No. Okay.
They're apparently they filmed some scenes in very busy parts of London, but they had to film it at dawn because they had
Is
to have
it
the
28
streets empty.
days later? Or-
Yes, 28 days later. That's
Oh,
Okay.
man. My timing was off. Okay.
Yep. Danny Boyle's 28 Days Later.
Because there's coming out 28 years later. Is that right?
Yep, the third in the trilogy.
We had
Yeah,
weeks.
the
I
third
only
one.
ever saw the first one.
Yep. There's months later, and this is years later.
I think it's weeks later.
It's
The sequel?
days, weeks. Is it months?
I think it's month. Oh yeah, 28 weeks later. The one coming out now is 28 years later.
Yeah, it goes weeks and then years. Got it. Okay. Okay. Been a
You
long
can
time.
watch it on Pluto TV if you want to stream it.
I happen to
it's-
own it, so
It's not available in 4K though. Have you watched it recently?
I have
Kevin?
not watched it very
Okay.
recently.
So do you have like the actual disc?
No. I bought it. It was like for $5 or whatever on iTunes. Bought it. I haven't watched it.
Have
Hey.
you guys seen this before?
Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
I
Killing
haven't
When it
seen
came
it.
out.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out.
I probably watched it like twice when it came out and then haven't seen it since. Oh yeah, this was a popular movie in high school. This came out
Yeah.
right when I graduated.
Is this the one with fast zombies?
Yes.
Okay,
And they call
yeah.
it Rage, I think. They call it the Rage or something silly like that.
All right, 28 days later
All right.
Excellent.
on the Pod of Dreams. Thanks for listening. If you have complaints or you just want to talk, we'll post after the end. Just keep listening to the end of the recording. We'll post Ben's phone number so you can just call him. It's a cell. Call him like morning, night, at 3 a.m. He'll answer it. Just any complaints you might have, or just your thoughts about robots in general. Just whatever. Just give him a call. Lines are open.
Bye-bye.
Bye.